Welcome to 9.6, all about solving quadratics by either using square roots or by factoring. So we're bringing that factoring back. We've got some essential questions and a vocabulary list. So let me give you a minute to read through those. You can always find your solutions for a parabola by just looking at it. We call that inspecting in mathematics. To find those solutions, we talked about this in the last lesson, that it's just the x-intercepts. So we've got three different types of parabolas here, and we want to look at what are the solutions. In this first example, if I put my points here, I can see that my solutions are going to be those intercepts. And when we're asking for solutions and not roots, we're actually going to ask for just the x value here. Sometimes we put those in set notation, so I would have the numbers 2 and 4. So the x value is either 2 or 4. In this next one, we can see that here's my x-axis and my parabola is never crossing it. So on this one, we would say it has no solution. And there is another issue with example C. So example C, we really can't tell exactly what those answers are. We would say x is approximately, and there's a symbol that we use in math for approximately. Instead of an equal sign, we use this double wave. You may have seen it before, and that just means approximately. So it looks like, I don't know, it's about, I'm just going to say a half. So 0.5 and maybe 3.4. It's just a guess. We really don't know. It's something like, we just can't tell. Finding the solutions of a quadratic by inspecting is definitely easy. It didn't take much. But as you can see with the third example, it's not really the most accurate method. So there's many different ways to solve a quadratic equation, and we're going to learn about those in 9.6 and 9.7. A quadratic we can always tell because its highest degree or its highest exponent is always 2. And we learned about that earlier on, that we always call a quadratic. So this is going to be something like x squared plus 5x minus, I don't know, 3. I'm just making something up here. And it would often have something equal, maybe. So equal to 0. Okay. What is the inverse of squaring a value? So since we're dealing with a square here, we can undo a square with a square root. So the inverse is square rooting. And finally, one way to solve a simple quadratic equation, okay, is taking the square root of both sides. So if I take, so notice I've got an x squared. If I took the square root of it, I would be left with just an x, and that's what I want when I'm solving. Let's look at these examples, and I think it'll make a little bit more sense. I want to get this x all by itself, but it's got that square. I can do that by taking the square root here. And if I take the square root there, if I do something on one side of an equal sign, I've got to do it on the other. Well, this becomes very easy, and we get x equals, if you use a calculator, you'll see the square root of 169 is 13. But you've got to be careful. There are two solutions here, because if we think about squaring something, it always becomes positive. So 13 could be a solution, but I might have also had a negative 13. And if we had a parabola here, you would see our parabola would go through the 13 and the negative 13. So be really careful when you're solving these because you want to look out for two solutions. I want you guys to try example B on your own. So what are the two solutions? So hopefully if you got this correct, it should be x equals the square root. If we take the square root of both sides, it's going to be, let's see, 9 and negative 9. All right, and if you know me too well, we know that C is going to have some kind of issue with it, and it is. You want to watch out for those negatives, right? These cause an issue right here. You can't take the square root of a negative number. There's no possible way that you can do this one. There is no solution here. So this is what happens when we graph this. It ends up being a graph like this first example here. So let me bring that back down. So it ends up being a graph like example B, where it never crosses the x-axis. That's how come this is what it would look like if we saw that equation. We'd end up with negative 100. So watch out for that. Or actually any negative number could happen there. So let's look at some more complicated problems. If the problem is more complicated, you need to isolate x squared or get x squared by itself before you take the square root of both sides of the equation. Follow the inverse and opposite order of operations. If the radicand, which is also known, it's the number inside the square root. So when I do this right here, this 169 is a radicand. This 81 is a radicand. If I did a square root here, the negative 100 would be it. So for example 3, we're going to solve it and write the solution in set notation. We'll add 36 to both sides. And we've got x squared equals 36. And final step is to take the square root of both sides. And don't forget, I'm going to have two solutions here. I'm going to have that negative 6, because negative 6 times negative 6 gives me 36. And I also end up with positive 6. So those are my two solutions. Let's do example B. I'm going to speed things up a little bit here. For this one, I need to divide the 5 from both sides. X squared equals 25. Take the square root of both sides. And we get x equals negative 5 and positive 5. Just a quick note here. Sometimes when we take a square root like that, you might have seen somebody put plus or minus in front of the square root, and that's why we get those two, because it could be the positive or the negative solution. And finally, with example C, let's go ahead and draw our line down the middle. We're going to subtract that 6 from both sides. So it's been a while since we've solved some equations. Subtract the 6, we get negative 3x squared equals, let's see, that looks like 21. Divide both sides by negative 3, and we get x squared equals negative 7. And watch out for those negatives. This one is going to have no solution. All right, let's wrap this one up. Let me know if you have any questions before we move on.